Whoa. 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 Secret cave. Secret tunnel. That's actually wild. A whole ass rock just floating, man. It's a banana shake waiting to happen. Oh, I can't break that. At least not with my hands. Welcome back, everybody. I hope he's here today, but I am lightly counting on Neptune to help me out with build limit. I know some other people have experimented with it, and I just haven't had a chance to fully get the ins and outs of how the build limit thing works. So I imagine you just build like 4,000 pieces and hit build limit, and then you just go around and find where your border is, essentially. What's up, Snorlax?
Thank you for your patronage.
What's up, Zep? Thank you for the resub, as always. Thank you, Snorlax. Thank you. Yo, Gauge Edit. Thank you, man. All right, so... Oh, this is my... I need to go somewhere that has, like... nothing. Because I guess also the, what is it? The POIs will count. Yeah, well, thank you for the heartbeat. Like, I actually been catching up on Bob's Burgers episodes lately. I think the newest, I don't know if they're releasing episodes right now, but I just haven't caught up on the most recent season. Zeppelin, do you have a pretty good understanding of how the
what a JPEG is?
beating the
I
build
just
limit
want a picture of a goddamn hot dog
goes? I know a lot of people have been utilizing it in the Reddit. Yeah, oh, just the resub. Thank you guys. Welcome back. You guys are amazing. All right, let's go. Like way the heck over here. No, over here. Somewhere I haven't been. We'll just go over here and we'll test it around, goof around with it. I would want to say if you find the border of one, that would end up revealing, because the border is already, the grids are like already in place. Like it doesn't matter where you build. Like I technically right there could be a conjoint four corners, and if I were to build right there and build 4,000, it would be broken up into like 4 different sections probably.
Pizza time! FB catch! FB catch!
Welcome back. How's it going, Salsa? What's a good seed? I mean, really any. I don't think there's really any that have an advantage over others. Oh, what the heck? Here, let's just break like this stuff. Because I know these builds count towards the limit. So I just want to get like a whole big area that has... They update the sound that makes? Sounds different. Because like trees and plants don't, but like anything POI or like world spawned will end up counting. So what's the tech? You pretty much use like 2x4 floor pieces, stack them to 10. So that way it's easier to count. Use the smallest floor pieces possible, I imagine. Is this Roblox? No, this is LEGO Fortnite. It's free. It's this is LEGO Fortnite Odyssey, which is like a sub game in LEGO Fortnite, like a it's like a subcategory, and it's very similar to Minecraft. But LEGO Fortnite as a whole, they actually are doing their best to develop like a Roblox-like ecosystem. So there actually are like, this is like a whole, you know, game and a map and a survival world. But if you go into the Fortnite UEFN creative maps, there's actually a bunch of different like Lego maps that are, you know, similar to custom games. There's literally, I think they have it in Fortnite right now. It's not Lego, but what's it called? Like collect the meme or something like that, and like grow your garden. There's like a version of that in like Fortnite creative, Lego Fortnite creative. So if you're into that kind of thing, I'd give it a try. Yo, sure, brick slot going pretty well. Still working on a move actually. Here should be happening here soon, but there's lots of things going on in life. But otherwise, blessed. Can't complain. Still got more than I could ever ask for in life. I don't even remember where I was earlier. I just want to make sure I don't have any player built, or not player built, but like POI spawn structures in. So here, let's just go with like a flat-ish area. Yeah, because this is a smooth area. We'll just start here. Does logging in and out have anything to do with it? Or is the build limit pretty reactive to you remove? Because I remember at the beginning of the game, like if you hit, or like even earlier in the game, if you hit build limit and then tried to remove pieces, it would like not let you re-add them again. So I don't know if it's gotten better. Because I imagine I want to use like something like this. Because I want to use different colors just to make it easier to count too. But it's like 2 different colored 2x4s, like the smallest I can find. Because then I'd go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I would just like kind of switch colors and it'd be easier to count. Oops. I know, right? I've only been gone for a week and a half. I don't expect him to pop in immediately on my re-arrival. That's gonna be more annoying than I thought. I'm sure there's, I guess I can float too. That'll probably make it easier. Because if I make all the stacks 10, then it should be really easy to count going over if I don't goof anything up. Because this will be really annoying to do in an expert world, but it's still obviously doable. But once you find your grid, I mean, you're pretty much set after that, I feel like, right? Yeah, what's up, engineer? Welcome, Bake. Oops. No, no vacation. I needed a little bit of a mental break. I stressed out with life stuff. Trying to figure out a good place to move right now. What are you doing? You good over there? The French bulldog is yakking. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? So like that's 100, right? 10. That's 100 pieces right there, right? What am I doing? I am messing around with, there's a way to essentially, because there's still ultimately a build limit, but you can find like the borders to where the build limit is. And then as long as you don't build over in one block, you can continue to build over and can like make your build bigger than it might normally be as long as you're only building so much in each block. Wait, did I? Oh, it is 110. Yeah, I'm just to make things easier. I don't want an 11th row. Right. I just realized I wasn't actually counting with my eyes. Okay. But basically, the build limit is, what, 4,000 pieces, chat? So what you want to do, I'm still learning how to, like, figure it out, so don't take my word for it right now. But basically, you build 4,000 pieces until you hit build limit. And then once you've hit build limit, you should be able to go around with another piece. And essentially, whenever you're allowed to build again, you kind of, like, essentially mark that. So that way you find the border of that certain complexity block. And then you kind of mark the border of it. And then you can grid it out so that way... it takes... I would imagine it would... if you're doing this in practice, you're going to have to, like, almost keep a piece count, a rough piece count, the whole time you're going. Which I would really hope moving forward, now that this has been discovered, especially... Oops. Wait, did I do something wrong here? It's supposed to be white. I guess I could have left it. What was I going to say? I got distracted. But they need to add this as a feature. They need to very clearly show the build borders. Because like if the borders exist, I would imagine it wouldn't be hard to code them so that they're physically, you know, visual. You can see them as a player. And then they know it's got a count, and we figured out it's pretty solid 4,000 count. You'd think they'd be able to code it where the game can tell us not only where the borders are, visually like a village border, but also tell us exactly how many pieces are currently in each section. I think that needs to be like the next immediate quality of life feature in this game, because since the beginning of the game, that has been everybody's mystery. Nobody, like, it would make things so much clearer to everybody trying to build. They would understand, oh, there's my border. I see I can do this many in this. Okay, now I'm not, like, wondering if it's a bug or not when the game starts telling me you can't build here anymore. I think that'd be really great. One of my 4 chunks intersects it. Okay, like as far as the chords. So Neptune, like, let's say I hit build limit right now. Wouldn't I be able to just find the border by, like, essentially moving out of it? But then you wouldn't be able to find, you just know you're out of this current square. You wouldn't know where the next outside one is, essentially. I think I know why it would be a little bit tougher to find the 4 corner now than I'm thinking it is. Because that's what I figure, is I'll just build 4K pieces and then just go around until I pass the border and mark it with a floor. And then once I have 1 square, I assume once you find 1 square, logically, that should make the other ones, like, you just pick one of the corners of your currently deducted square and you have your other 4 squares around it, right? But yeah, okay, so it's just a pain in the butt in general. I wasn't sure if I was over or underthinking it. There. I just want to make each of these 100. But the sticky situation is, like, it's probably rare, but right now I could technically be building on a border and not know it until I go well past 4,000 and realize that, like, oh, a chunk of my build is definitely in one zone and the other chunk is in another. Should I just do this in my expert world then and figure it out? Or should I just stick here in Sandbox and practice it and get the idea? Or is it so time consuming that I might as well just hoof it in expert and then I'll have it figured out, you know? Right now I am intentionally hitting the build limit. So that way I can find the border of the build complexity chunks, as we're calling them, essentially. I mean, I have nothing against sandbox mode in general. I don't want to say one mode is better or the other. I like expert mode because it feels a little more rewarding. But there are definitely those times where, you know, like, it's not that I couldn't build it in expert, but, like, there's some times where, like, I just want to have fun and build something cool that's also not necessarily functional. Like, if I just want to build a pretty base for the heck of it, like, what's the point of building that in my expert world other than to flex? But I still like building those kinds of build in expert regardless. But when you're testing things and experimenting, and especially if you're learning, like if you pick up a new game that has like a building feature in it, and that game has a sandbox mode in it, that's the mode you should hit up first and spend like 10 hours in just learning the controls, learning all the builds, kind of just because like every building game's a little bit different in how pieces attach and how the controls are and stuff like that. So if you're trying to get better at custom building, there's almost like, it's like a battle royale. If you're trying to get better, you know, what's the point in going into a sweaty match, getting a bunch of loot, and then getting to the 4th circle just to die to a sweat? Did you really get any practice in that match? You got practice looting, I guess, but you really didn't get any practice fighting in. So that's why people use creative mode to kind of fast track that whole process of improving. Instead of wasting time looting and then dying to someone who's way better than you, you're constantly fighting someone who's hopefully, you know, whether they're better than you or not, but you're able to get more reps in. And same thing goes for a building game. If you're in expert mode or regular survival mode and you got to collect everything and you can't fly, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're just like holding yourself back from getting those reps in building stuff, figuring out that, oh, I don't like the way that looks, and then doing the next build and getting a little bit better and a little bit better. You just speed that process up. Okay, so wait. So we can, if we, so the coordinates for the build chunks are the same throughout all seeds? So, like, we could use it as a cheat sheet, is what you're saying? Like, I could essentially, hypothetically, go find it in my other world. Like, first try. Yeah, let's go Midwest. Yeah. I'm behind on it, but I understand the basic concepts, but I need to, like, actually put it into practice for myself so I can actually teach it. People ask about it later, because that'll be inevitable. This is literally only 500 pieces. Which is crazy when you think about it, that 4,000. But 4,000, how does, like, this seems like it takes forever. But then when you're building your heart out creatively, it's like 4,000 happens so fast. Yeah, the standard grid per map, because it's like the grid lines in general would be, like, if there were any sort of grid lines, which I think they should just add to the map. There should be like a thing you can hide or show grid lines. That'd be perfect for the build complexity. But, like, yeah, because it wouldn't matter what shape your map is. The world itself is always the same size, and the grid lines would always land on the same coordinates regardless of the island shape, right? So that would make sense. Absolutely, I agree. Damn it. I know, Allie. How you doing? I'm glad you didn't give up on me. And I keep goofing out. Yeah, huge shout out to Neptune and Moxie. I'm surprised I didn't try to look into this sooner too, or any of us, to be honest. Like, we've all suspected it was like it is, to be honest. I guess that's what happens when you go that long without an update. You start getting desperate and you start digging. If anything, the lack of updates has made us better, but at the same time, is that healthier than we would have been had they... Because a lot of the building tricks that we use today could be made into features one day, too. So that's not totally far-fetched. Because, like, angled building, like doing wings at an angle for, like, you know, spaceships and stuff, that is very... I don't want to say it's difficult, but it's just not highly accessible to the average player who may not be privy to all the content that's posted about it, which, you know, as much as there is, we're a smaller community compared to others, so it's not necessarily, like, common sense in the community yet, like all those things. If they were made into features, it'd be a lot better. Yeah, Mad Puck is insane. Then who just posted all of the military ships recently on Reddit? Those are crazy good. I guess I can stay on that. Need to try larger pieces. Someone claims it counts for adjacent tiles. What do you mean? It counts. I think it was tested that piece size ended up not mattering. It was total piece count. Testing the new build limit. Excuse me, theory. Slash, I don't want to call it a theory, it's true. What do we want to call it? Technique. Knowledge. Goated gamer knowledge. So basically, as we all know, if you build too much, you hit a soft build limit. Not for the whole world, but for an area. And then if you move away, you can build again. But basically, there's a solid way to... determine where those borders are exactly. So that way you can plan ahead in your build, and as long as you're kind of keeping a rough count of your pieces per block, as long as you don't go over in any given block. And also, do the pieces have to be disconnected from each other to also count? Like, oh yeah, you can, right? I think that was the whole part of the thing was like, or was it not? Can you not have stuff connected? Or do you just, like, connect it via, like, coupling and decoupling techniques at that point once you have, like, 2 build limited areas or something? How do you find Storm Cave? They should be on your map. Now, you're going to need to go to this village. Now, you might have a starter village that has a similar emblem to this. That's just the regular starter village for the world. You want to make sure you go to the Storm Chasers village. This is like a special, like, literally Storm Chaser village with NPCs and stuff. And they're going to give you a quest line. And that quest line is going to, I think... Are the storms active already? No, I think you have to do the content first to have them, like, unlock. But yeah, once you do that quest line, you will eventually... It should unlock all the storms. Or at least mark them on your map. Because they're out there already. Like, my Storm King, or one of the Storm Islands, is on one of these 2 islands right here. But I don't know if you can really do any... You can go there, but, like, obviously you want to be progressing the Storm Chaser quests anyway, so that way you can end up fighting the Storm King. Lego sweats? Oh yeah, the sweatiest. Lego nerds. We're the ones who are when they end up. I mean, I don't know if it's guaranteed, but I imagine we'll get some form of like Minecraft's redstone in this game. We'll be the ones playing Minecraft in Lego Fortnite when we build a supercomputer. Couldn't stand it for a minute. I mean, it's an open world Lego building game. It depends on your affinity for building with Lego at the end of the day. Although there's not a, like, the vehicles are a lot better now. Like, at the beginning, you couldn't make a driver's seat with the steering wheel. The wheels didn't turn. It was very crappy in a sense. It's a lot better now, but to truly, I think, enjoy the game, you got to enjoy, at the core of it, building with Lego bricks. Because building with Lego bricks is a very particular system. That's why they call it, back in the day, it was just called Lego System. That was what all the space and it was all just under the Lego System name. That's because Lego itself is a system. And for people who I guess can appreciate the Lego system, it sounds weird, but it's like, dude, the Lego system is a work of art. The fact that they have thousands of different pieces that are you'd think oh, they're just making new parts and they kind of pick random shapes. And it's to an extent, maybe, but at the same time, every angle, every size of every brick, how high the studs are, the space between the stud and the edge of the brick, all of that is very specific for a reason. So that way the rest of the system, with different Lego pieces, not literally every piece can connect every other piece because there's obviously different connection types, but each piece is designed with more than one use in mind. They might come out with a new mold, a new piece for a new set to achieve a certain look, but they don't just willy-nilly design that piece. They make sure that not only does this piece fulfill the role that we want in this set, but we want to give it the potential and design it in a way that it's useful in other sets and fits with other pieces that it didn't necessarily work with in this particular set. It's very, very meticulously thought through. And that's why Lego is such a good product. Survival mode. Right now, I'm just in Sandbox doing some experimenting stuff. This is all for Lego Fortnite science right now. People are way ahead of me in this. I am not the groundbreaker in this. I am a mere tester on the shoulder of giants who took the time to figure this out, including my very amazing moderator, Guy from Neptune. And, as we all probably know around here, our favorite other creator we like to raid out to, Lego Moxie. They were the two spearheads, I want to say, in this whole discovery, educational stuff that we're working with the build limit. Hopefully it fosters, like I said, some quality of life changes that address these discoveries, so that way, instead of us having to do like what I'm doing here, just to kind of figure out where these limits and lines are, building it into just building grid lines into the game would be amazing. But hopefully the discovery of it not only helps us learn more, but also, like I said, pushes some quality of life towards the game. I can't wait to hit complexity for the first time. Don't say that. You say that until you're still most of the way. You're not completely finished with your masterpiece, and then all of a sudden you're done for. I guess the middle I could probably leave monotone, but I just felt like this would be easier to count no matter what. I'll have to show you. Actually, you know what we need to do? I still want it. I think Lion Knight's castle builds are like, if you know how they were bugged in the past? I feel like they fixed the bug, but not on the already existing Lion Knights. Like like if you had like bugged Lion Knights pieces, I feel like they didn't get fixed. Only Lion Knights pieces that you built like after the fix were better. Because I gotta go check my Lion Knights castle in my survival world. Because there's no way that's still hitting limit, right? I feel like they've increased it over time in a decent amount, and I feel like I don't have 4,000 pieces there, but maybe I do. That's something I need to go check out. I haven't been there in a minute.
Thank you for your patronage.
Yo, Abby, thank you for the sub. How do you not get bored? Honestly, last couple like weeks and months, a lot of the community has been feeling that way. Obviously, it's not that there's nothing to build and no like amount of creativity, but like as far as like the progressional content in the game, it has been pretty boring lately. The spires are literally the only even moderate, I don't even want to call it major, only moderate update we've got since the middle of December of last year. I think Storm King dropped December 10th. No? And since then, Brick Life was released. And then, again, the only thing we got for Star Wars, I mean, we've got new battle passes. I can't say we've got nothing. But as far as progressional content or new features to the game, other than battle passes, the only thing new was the spires. And that's been, I don't want to say like game breaking, but it has put a drag on a lot of casual players, especially, let alone streamers like myself, where I'm proud of the other streamers who are keeping their chin up right now. Because I can't say the reason I'm not playing is the game. I've been going through my own struggles. I'm not by any means blaming the game for me not streaming. That'd be ridiculous. I've got like my own stress and my own issues that are outside of the game. But it's in general, I have been a little bit bored lately. But the way I keep it interesting in general is I try to stay creative. I try to remember, you know, that I obviously enjoy building Lego. It's just when I also am a gamer. I've been playing games my whole life. So obviously, yes, I like to build Lego, but if that's all I'm doing in the game, then I feel like I'm shorting myself because, like, I'm getting part of the experience that this game offers, which is building, you know, and then open world exploration mechanics. Those are two different worlds, which are great in combo, but when you're only getting half of one of those two things, it's definitely drags. What am I making? A build complexity blob. I'm intentionally hitting build complexity. There is a technique that was found by a handful of community members, including Guy from Neptune and Lego Moxie, who have figured out essentially not how to like get rid of the build limit, but how to understand its borders and limits. So that way you can plan and build around it and end up building way bigger builds without going over in any given chunk. What's up, Jess? Everybody? Oops. Everybody. Oops. Goofing stuff up. It's like I'm one of the most passionate people about this game, as most of us content creators are. We don't want to not enjoy the game, but sometimes that's the state they put us in for, you know, and I liked Expeditions for a while, but I honestly, I'm a little worried about it. Does anybody feel like that's like already dead in the water? Like, I want to enjoy it. Like, I like those kind of games, but Expeditions, I think last time I looked, had like 200 or less players. Yeah, Expeditions, like, no hate to any individual. It just wasn't at all. Like, it wouldn't here, and I guess here's the like the potential silver lining that needed to happen was if Expeditions was going to happen and it was going to like essentially flop, it would have been nice if at least Odyssey was getting like consistent love and updates throughout. Oops. But now it's like, it seems like a lot of resources. I mean, not a lot. I don't know how much resources, but I assume an amount of resources that was fairly substantial went into getting expeditions made, you know, a new game, like, kind of from the ground up, when all of that time could have been spent instead of starting something from scratch, or maybe not scratch, but, you know, almost nothing, or a new concept. That same effort could have been put into the game that's definitely carrying right now. And is still carrying. How many did that break? Did I break any in the center? I don't think so. And I think Brick Life has honestly got a lot of potential. I just think Expeditions came too soon, because if you think about it, Brick Life, I actually like Brick Life. It offers a niche gameplay that's different from Odyssey in a respectable way that reaches an audience that isn't me, but I totally respect the players who love Brick Life. It has a home, and it came a year after Odyssey was released, right? So there was at least some time for them to, like, give Odyssey some love before Brick Life did. And as much as we wanted them to continue putting love into Odyssey despite Brick Life, the problem was, like, what was it? 3-4 months later? Wait, I don't even know. It's such a blur now this year, to be honest. When did Expeditions release? Because it was like a fraction of the time between those two releases compared to Odyssey and Brick Life, and I think it was just too soon. Where Brick Life needed more time to incubate, and then Odyssey obviously needed some love on top of that. Can't say that's how it should have gone. That's just how I wanted it to go, right? Personal feelings. I'm no expert on the subject. I didn't go to school for marketing and development and manage all that bureaucratic stuff. So, like, I don't know the numbers. So it's all just my feelings on the matter. So that was like, what then, 3 months ago? Because that's like about how long the seasons are, roughly, I think. So yeah, 12 months between Odyssey and Brick Life. 6 months, roughly, between Brick Life and Expeditions. And honestly, you know what the other worst part is right now? Is that we already know what we're probably getting next, and I don't think anybody's excited for it. I wasn't really excited for it even when I first heard about getting superhero powers in Odyssey, let alone, what, 2-3 months down the road now that the game mode's been out. So we're basically getting a recycled mechanic from a game that is now currently not doing so hot. It hurts as a player who loves it so much. I really hope they give us Lego. If they don't give us Lego Simpsons figures for this game, I'll go crazy, because they not only have done Simpsons set in the past, but they just re-collaborated with him, because those will be an instant buy for me. I would love to run around as Bart, or like Snake, or Chief Wiggum. Like, that'd be amazing. Lego Chief Wiggum. Hold on. Worst Lego fig ever. Snake, or that's not Snake. It's comic book guy. Snake's here. Sorry, getting my names mixed up. I actually have the Quickie Mart. Quickie Mart's behind me. Simpsons is like my all-time favorite. Worst Lego ever. No, but Snake is, last time I looked, which was probably a couple years ago now, he's worth like 50, 60-ish, 50, 60-ish bucks. He's probably more now. Probably like 60 to 80. Oh, God. I made a mistake.
I'm in danger.
I really am. Hey, Chief. I think there's a dead body in there. Yeah, I thought that too. They said yard trimmings. Gotta learn to listen, Lou. No, because the decision to add classes to Odyssey, though, was made a while ago. I don't know if that was meant to be because the game, I don't know. Yeah, I almost felt like the Academy was going to change over time, but dude, anybody, please, if anybody out there, like, I enjoyed it for the first couple of days or day, and then it was really just a grind because this is the most constructive criticism I can give. The problem with Expeditions, I think the biggest problem was that there was by the end, I think now there's 5 different maps you can go to run a mission. The problem is the map is the only thing that's different about it. You go to one map, it looks like this. You go to this map, it looks like that. The missions on those maps are essentially the same randomized missions over and 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 over again. And the only thing that changes is your setting. And then there's obviously a switch to expert mode, which like arbitrarily jacks up the difficulty in like what I would call inefficient ways of just making either enemies do way more damage or take less damage. And that just that leads to just like the worst kind of balance, I think. Because for me, there's really no replayability for Expeditions other than my internal need to grind and level up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't having fun leveling. Whereas in World of Warcraft, like, you compare it to something like leveling in a game like that, it may be tedious. It may be slow. It may take you like 40 plus hours to get to the max level. But at least you were experiencing something vastly different from region to region that you were leveling up in, getting different quests, fighting different mini bosses, different things. All those things made the monotony of leveling up fun because it was an adventure. You felt the growth. Expeditions, you don't feel like you're growing much. I don't think. You get a little bit stronger. Things just become, like, clearing the mission just becomes faster and faster. The same mission over and over again. Your room looks cool. Thank you. My Lego room. Which should, essentially, to you guys, always look the same regardless of where I move, because I'll probably have it set up the same way. But, thank you. To press any. Where's the any key? Recommendations on piece besides target practice. Piece on a swivel for fabricating a gear. Apparently, using a barrel for the pin gear. Oh, I don't have a lot of experience myself with like pushing the toys to the limits like that. Honestly, and more power to everybody who's still experimenting with them. I hate messing with any of the swivels or honestly anything toy related, dude. It feels like you can get, like, trust me, it'd be great to get it working for a screenshot in one video, but almost everybody I've ever seen that works with swivel plates, dude, the vehicle at one point or another, usually sooner rather than later, just like breaks in half, implodes on itself, some hoopla, you know? And that's kind of been the problem with vehicles in general is like I said, to the people still messing with vehicles and still like being dedicated vehicle builders, dude, you guys are amazing because I've been so turned off from trying to like experiment with that stuff because it's so inconsistent with some of the physics and the way things do work with some of the toys that is discouraging for me personally. So I couldn't imagine the casual player, you know what I mean? How like kind of daunting and discouraging that is to not only have things that don't work, but have almost zero understanding of why they, because I'm sure there's workarounds and stuff like there always is in this game. There usually is, but usually it requires some sort of player found bug or technique that, again, one of my biggest pet peeves of the game is that certain things are not very obvious for like new players who haven't done, watched a million of us content creators and all of our theories and discoveries, and someone's just getting into it. A lot of this stuff is not super obvious and easy to pick up on. Like look at us with this technique. I mean, it took a whole community 1 year and 9 months to start digging into the surfaces of how this build complexity thing actually works. So I couldn't ever expect like new players to, it's like sideways building techniques, angled techniques, coupling and decoupling. I don't know if that could ever be a feature, but that'll always be an amazing bug. Yeah, we're intentionally filling up the build limit. Let me actually get a count. See how close we are. All right. So each of these are 100. Right? 10 times 10 is 100. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So one more row and we're halfway there. What I'll probably just do is build this way, so I have less of a chance of accidentally building through a border. I would technically want. I guess I could build it up too. I could just stack it again, just start like another stack of 10, and then just match that. Because then I know I'm not going to go over the vertical limit. Obviously, that'd probably be smarter, right? Sometimes in my Fortnite server, sometimes chests and other stuff just disappear. Yeah, if the chests aren't... Like, if you build the chests, like, on the ground, they honestly should be fine, like, forever. It's when you're building chests on anything that's moving or dynamic. Or I guess that's what dynamic means, is moving, right? Redundancies. So this would have made 20 rows for 2,000.
I just bought the Lucky's Lighthouse bundle with your code yesterday.
Yo,
Epic,
thank you so
really
much.
making us regret not buying it once. Wholly a year for one more appearance.
A literal year, right? Finally, I just had mentioned Captain's Battlements, like, either on my last stream or recently. Maybe they heard, they were like, oh, it has been a year. Oh my god. Because those are the two that were by far the longest. Now, what we need is Beachside, Der Burger, and Lion Knights. But not the half-ass bundle. The full bundle that you originally released. Or if you do the, what's it called? The partial bundle, still please include the full bundle. Because a lot of people got excited that those came back to the shop last time they did. And I bet half the people buying it didn't realize that there was still more to buy. You just didn't offer it. I was really sad with that. I was like, why did we not get the full bundle offered to us? So this should be, let me double check the count again just to be sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Perfect. So that's 2,000. So now we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we just have to do this again. And hope that I didn't build on a line or a border already. Finally got some good rain here in Phoenix the other night. And it's actually cool today. It was like 76 when I went to do errands earlier. And it's been 100 plus every day for like the last 200 days. So please send me your good weather thoughts and energies. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm burning up out here. I guess this could be, I don't know if it'd be more or less helpful with a secondary or a third helper even. I wonder if multiple players placing parts would make it just that much more difficult with lag potentially if you had 2 or 3 players just spamming parts. Because I was like, I could have just grabbed one of you guys, sped this up a little bit. You know what they should add too into the controls? God, how badly do I want to be able to click, hold, drag up, and it just goes, does all 10 of them in a row if I want to drag and copy. Even an expert, like as long as I have the materials for it, let me do that. That would be amazing. Gosh, you could make a whole wall in like one, just, you want to make a wall, place one piece, look to the left. Just drag it out as like far as you need pretty much. That would be a godsend. Yup. I haven't played The Sims since the 90s, but I agree with you. It would be fantastic for anything you're trying to do singular pieces of. That and Sandbox, it'd be great. Maybe they're not an expert, but Sandbox needs a selection copy-paste tool. Like, that's my also number one, like one of my other number one or top 3, we'll call it, quality of life changes that I would think would benefit this game the most. Because it'd be great to also be able to just, one, copy this, have it done in literally 30 seconds. I could do this in 30 seconds if I was able to copy. But also deleting stuff, if you wanted to edit stuff, would be nice. And same with Sandbox, it'd be nice. I don't know if it would be hard to add, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be impossible to, like, you know how pieces need supporting pieces to, like, connect to the ground? Well, I wonder if they could turn, like, that gravity off and have it be just like Minecraft, where even if you, like, break out the bottom of the tree, the whole tree just floats there, right? That would be a nice setting in Sandbox to be able to toggle on and off. Just in case you do or don't want that feature. Yeah, I also, what we're going to do today, too, is run over to my survival world, my OG, and check out Lion Knight's castle. And I could get some more footage of it if I ever want to do clips of it, because I'm thinking about, like, seeing if I can't break it apart, because it's all, like, one mega build. Technically, all the pieces are connected to each other. But if I could figure out the grid line thing and maybe go back and edit that base, and then if I could figure out where the borders are, I could potentially refurbish the whole thing, continue it, and finish my original vision, which would be amazing. Because I haven't tried a large-scale Lion Knights build since then. I've used Lion Knights parts plenty of times for different projects and stuff, but I haven't gone back to the attempt of mega Lion Knights, you know, whole village, town, castle, kingdom type build. That's what I was originally envisioning with my OG Lion Knights. It was just a massive scale, extending all, because I built it right on the coast on a river. So I would have, my original plan was to extend builds all the way to the coast. But after I hit build limit, it kind of like discouraged me from even trying to finish the whole idea. Also, when I end up making my own content about this, I'll have a really cool cube to use as an example. This whole thing will look really cool when it's done. I mean, kinda. It'll be an easier to. It'll show the because if you have one big blob, it doesn't look like as many pieces. Like if you show all this, you're gonna be like, oh, that's a lot of pieces. What if I did the whole thing in a offset pattern? Now that would be ridiculous. And don't worry, you guys are getting credited to the max when I end up learning and talking about this myself in content videos. You will get the #1 shout-outs. There's only been very few times that I've like not credited people, and the only time that's ever been is if it's I truly didn't know where that's like, because like I feel like I'm sure someone could tell me, but like there's certain techniques where after I've heard about them a million times or seen it on Reddit, I don't necessarily know who the original person was. So when I can, I always try to credit people. Like when Moxie did the fish technique, absolutely credited them for that. I think there's been a couple times, like I think it was like the balloon breaking car or something like that. There was a few things where I just like, I didn't know where to begin to research. Because like, how do you, like, you know how it is trying to Google anything for LEGO Fortnite specific. It's like you're not going to find the exact thing always that you're looking for, even if you Google exactly what you're thinking is right. I do my best. This cube makes me want a burger and a milkshake. It's very weird looking. My 4,000 piece cube. We shall call him. We got Kevin. We got Revan. So this one's the Lego. So it'll be Levin. I goofed it up. We got Kevin, Revan, and Levin. That's what they named the cube, right? Didn't Revan win? Because Kevin was the blue cube. And I think they voted. They did. Oh, God, I'm doing the wrong one again. Stop distracting me, chat. In my head, I really had no expectation of how long.
Check the shop. Want to see if new kits arrived.
Oh yeah, is it the? Oh no, it's tomorrow. They leave the 5th. The old ones don't leave till tomorrow. I will check here in a second, but I doubt, I'm just giving a heads up, I doubt there's any new LEGO sets because the current ones don't leave until tomorrow. I'm almost positive they were
Thank you for
November
your
5th
patronage.
end dates on those. But I will check because it is 5 and it is a shop cycle. Yo, Divine Equinox, what's up? Welcome back. Are you going to be at TwitchCon this year? Brave was just asking me if I was going this year, and there's a pretty good chance I'll be able to go. Pretty good. I'm sure it affects FPS, but did you ever find out if I think you mentioned it in one of your posts, maybe you did. Did you ever find out if weapons and stuff on the display mounts counted as an extra piece, like the display mount by itself versus a display mount like with a pickaxe on it? I doubt it does. I would imagine not. The only thing it would really screw up is just your overall frames because it's more visually demanding for whatever you're running it on. But I don't know. I don't think it's playing into the build limit at all.
Remember you, awesome farm village? Well,
Yeah.
I just built an exact replica of it in my main world.
Let's
in my
go.
opinion, it's the best. I got lucky with the bushes as well. So I decided, why not?
Yeah, if you find that, dude, you find that path with the bushes around it, dude, it's like there's no other singular spot on the map that's like that well pathed and like filled in with bushes. There's other spots that are similar that are reoccurring like that one is, but just not quite the same as that specific spawn. It's like the blaster chamber of the grasslands. It's the one specific reoccurring place that's really beneficial and awesome. We're about 3/4 of the way there, chat. What are you doing? Intentionally hitting the build limit in the name of continuing to or for me, not necessarily discovering, but understanding how the discoveries that have been made indeed work. So basically, as you all know in this game, there's a soft build limit in, you know, certain, like not certain areas, but like sets, like a grid block essentially is what we're ending up calling them. So you can build forever and unlimited, just not always in one spot. So this essentially finds where the borders are at so you can plan ahead and build more. Is some pretty advanced stuff for this game, considering it's all under the hood and they don't tell us how any of this stuff works. So we're basically just figuring it out ourselves. Oops. A lot of just, it's like we're space explorers. We're adventurers in the game. Not just in the sense that it's an open world survival game, but in it's just like real life. It's like the laws of physics. Once you understand the laws of physics, well, you can not manipulate them necessarily, but you can know how to work with or against them and make you know, certain inventions or fixes to certain problems because you understand the laws of physics. Same thing with this game, is it's its own little micro universe with its own physics and its own different properties for different things, and all of it's unknown until we figure it out. We're exploring Lego space. The unknown. I can't wait for Lego Party at the end of the month, dude. That's going to be so fun. Lego Party! I'm throwing a Lego Party for the release of Lego Party. A Lego Party. It's going to be, I think, like probably like a $60 title, like whatever the standard cost of games are these days. It'll be cross-platform, all platforms, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, all those, and it is, in the best way possible, a Mario Party copy for Lego. It's literally just Mario Party, 4-player game with, it's going to launch, I believe it's with 60 mini games. Or 61 mini games, something. There's over 60 mini games to start, and I'm sure we'll either get DLC packs or something moving on because it's a full title. I don't think it's coming through TT Studios, but it's not through Epic, obviously, either. So I want to say it's a new name in the Lego game studio biz. Oh yeah, item shop. I forgot. Item shop. I was getting too into that build. Yo, Cringe, thank you for the heart music, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, see, technically they say they're leaving today because now they're on the next loop to leave. So those got one more day left. So you got till 5, you got 20, like literally just under 24 hours to grab these. Creator code Epic Bricks if you do grab it. Highly appreciated. But let's see what else we got. Blake's Power Pack. I like Blaze. Blaze is a cool one. Denial's a river. Must be a song, right? They already have a sale for it and it's not even out yet? Weird. W, though. So it's only going to be 40. That's even better. Those are cool. Yeah, it's a solid price then. It makes me wonder if they'll do like $5 and $10 DLCs for different like maps or minigame packs or something like that. So I think that'd be pretty reasonable, $5 to $10 for that kind of stuff. For a game you already paid for. It's adventure time. Come grab friends. Go to very distant lands. He looks solid, dude. It's like simple but solid. Now that doesn't come off the same. Like, there's just like again, they try their best to like you. Tell me that doesn't look super. Like, if you didn't know, tell me if you saw this figure without knowing it was Genos, that you would think that's him. Like, if you saw this fig, I don't think anybody could discern that he was indeed who he was. You're like, oh, dude with a white shirt. Now she looks kind of. You might be able to tell here if you knew this character well enough. I'm sure. But Genos, he looks very boring. I already got the skins from the what is it, the festival pass or whatever. Funk Ops, that's looking good. Hella and Thor. This is honestly super cool. Got Shaq. A lot of the sponsored or like icon stuff. Deep Rock Galactic. What is this from? I don't know. Battle Bus, shoes. The B positive pack. Honestly, if you're into the skin, for $4.50, this is always a good deal when you see these packs. $4.50 for 600 V-Bucks is technically better than 1,000 V-Bucks for $8.99. Technically 2,800 for $22.99 is a better deal. But if you need just a few more V-Bucks and you're thinking about buying, like, 1,000 V-Bucks, literally just buy this instead. You're paying $4.50 and you get 600 V-Bucks. So you get a free skin, free pickaxe, all that stuff. So it's essentially better value just for the V-Bucks purchase alone. I always give that recommendation. It's a decent price. Because it's like, even if you technically don't like the skin, you're still getting your value in the V-Bucks you're getting for the purchase. Yeah. Yeah, Fres. I do have Discord. I have a village, unless you're already in there. Then that's what you were saying. Also, give me 1 minute while this loads in. Turn the air down a little bit. It's actually, for once, not 100 degrees out, so I don't need the AC as cold as it normally is. That's not really doing you dirty, though. You think if you refund, then you got that's the whole point of a refund is generally with refunds, you got to give back what you're being refunded for. We're almost there. Think about it this way. Most things in life, you're not even able to refund months later. You don't even have the option. So take it as a W that you're able to refund in the first place. You can't be unhappy that you weren't able to take advantage of the system. You know what I mean? If you can, good for you. But if you can't be mad at the system put in place, you know? I know you're not mad. I'm just speaking now. I'm just going philosophy, epic philosophy. My interdimensional log. What is it, Dad? I don't know, son. It's been here for generations. Some say since the beginning. It would be cool if there was a little bit more of like a storyline in LEGO Fortnite, though. But then at the same time, like, look at Fortnite's storyline. It's like the most whack.
Is Captain Battlement even worth
I'm not saying
it?
it's
I
bad.
don't feel like there is
It's just
much,
all
but most
over
of
the
your
place.
farm village uses the ceiling fans from the kit, and I had to use an alternative. Doesn't look as nice, but other than that, the pack is just meh.
Oh, the partial. I think because the last time they did the barn, that was also another one they did a partial one on. They didn't give you all the decor. When I go to do this in my expert world, eventually, I'll use Neptune's
No, the
coordinates.
Captain Battlement.
Oh, Captain Battlement. That one, it doesn't add a ton, but it's one of those things you want to have, right? If you're trying to really build a little bit of everything or have all the details. It is. It's not like a ton of new stuff. You get a whole, I think it's one decor pack, but then you get some parts that you just don't get. I don't think you get, cause like, let's go to it real quick. Salty. I don't think you get the walls with the spikes in them. That's how you get the walls with the spikes, I think, is battlements. And then, unless it was bugged, I remember one of these pieces not being available unless you had battlements, but I think that was just a bug for the Salty Seaport pieces in general. But I want to say, like, there is a handful, including, like, I think this door. Like, you get, like, the brick version of the door instead of just the wooden version. See, I think it helped, and maybe even a few more archways than you normally would. It's hard to tell because they're under. This is a unique situation in LEGO Fortnite where it's the only building theme that has parts from a paid source and a free source, or two different sources altogether, right? Everything else is either all battle pass, all free, or all item shop for whatever like category it is, right? You go under here, all these Durburgers, those are paid. Those are through the item shop. All these first orders, those are battle pass. All these are free to earn. All these from a battle pass. This one item shop. This one item shop. This one battle pass. This one free to earn. This one battle pass. This is the only one that when you scroll to it, you're like, oh, this one's free to earn. This one's free to earn through the game. This one's from the item shop, but they're under the same Salty Seaport bracket. So it makes it really hard once you have both of them unlocked to remember and tell which one came from what. So it's hard for me to tell you other than going back and looking at the item shop and just going through the decor and then the build pieces. So it's because some of the build pieces are the same, which I need to see the build pieces physically because part of me thinks they need to make this kit even cheaper because I do feel like the kit, maybe it does use all unique pieces that are just slightly different from the salty ones, but I can't say, like, I almost feel like some of those pieces are just doubled that you earn for free anyway, but it could be wrong.
That's exactly
Oh,
why
I didn't
it's
even
not
look.
worth it. It's literally the same as the Salty Seaport. I have these exact builds without owning the kit.
Okay, the bag with the check mark, I see now. Okay, good look. I kind of just assumed that was on everything. I barely paid attention to that. But okay, you can tell then. So then I could sort by salty and then be able to see. So like these ones are paid, so you get more floor pieces. But I almost want to see what it looks like, because like, do you have this if you don't? I know it's paid, but that's because I did buy it. But what if it was already free and then it's being overwritten because you did buy it? Because, like, dude, yeah, it says every one of these is paid for. The only one that's not paid for here is this one. That can't be the only floor piece that was included in Salty Seaport. So it makes it even weirder. So either there is overlapping, it's you're buying a kit that's giving you parts you already have, or because that can't, this is the only one that doesn't have a check mark on it.
I swear I have these wolf claw walls.
Because, yeah, I don't know what then is unique from the kit. Maybe it's just the prefab you're paying for, like just the design, which seems kind of lame. I would have expected a majority of the parts to be unique to the kit, but maybe it's just the decor, really. So that... So do the prefabs for Salty Seaport, the free ones, use some parts that you don't normally get then? Because I always thought it was the opposite, where they only used parts in the prefab that were available in the kit. Maybe I'm wrong. Interesting. Okay. So that truly is the only one included for free, but they're giving you other ones in the prefab. See, now that like doesn't make sense, because usually when you unlock, like, I swear every other free build you unlock the parts that are used to make it. Maybe is Salty Seaport the only one that does that, or is there other examples of that you know of? Because I would have assumed the complete opposite. Okay, so I gotcha. Engineer seems to have it pretty down on the knowledge section there. Can you still do the glitch where you use recent pieces though? Like if you wanted to cheat the system, can you still do that? Like could you build like a salty seaport prefab that's using those paid floor pieces, get them into your recents, and then build with them? Is that still a thing? Hey, Divine, have a good one. Oh, it was patched when Battlements was released. Jesus. Rip. Hilarious. At least they fixed like all those random foundation pieces that weren't popping up for us. So we don't have to use that glitch anymore. Because that's the only way you used to be able to get some of those foundation blocks. I remember when they first released those sidewalks and I didn't have them. The sidewalk foundations, I think those were bugged. And then for the longest time, I remember the whole variety of regular like everything beyond like this one, like all these were like not in regular games until like recently, like a couple months or like several months ago, which seems way too late. Yeah, those are still in Odyssey. Anything that gets added to Odyssey generally stays forever. There hasn't been one single thing that I can really think of that is, I'm sure maybe there's a minor thing, but pretty much everything in the game is permanent and able to be done at any point you start the game, any content they've ever released. However, from someone, I think someone was, maybe it was Brian or someone posted on Reddit about certain things that aren't gettable. Like, obviously, there's things that are bugged, like me not being able to find the Nana Village in my world. But technically, you could still do all the Star Wars content, which we all wish there was more from this year, but they didn't give us a Star Wars update. But you can still do all the Star Wars content from last year. You can still go to the Lost Isles, do all that content. I don't think there's one single thing that's unavailable that was available at one point. However, they do need to do a better job of keeping to their promise, or at least their statement that it says on the world menu that says all existing worlds will receive future updates. My expert world does not get those marble and not root nodes that are outside, outside of caves. They used to be able, these. Boom. Perfect. I was looking around for it. These do not spawn in my expert world because and not even in the unexplored parts. Even if I go to a part that's not explored, I will not find one of these. These are a newer feature that I think they added in Storm King, correct? They added these when Storm King was released because that's when they moved where obsidian and all that stuff was in different caves. That's when they released these little rock formations that had not only marble but also not root. I don't get these at all in my pre-existing world. It's unfortunate. You do? I haven't seen a single one of those in my expert world. I swear. I'll have to maybe I just haven't been paying attention, but I swear I would have noticed by now. That's like the only thing I've noticed, but things like there's always a bug when it comes to pre-existing worlds. Like with me, the problem with the pre-existing world, there's multiple things. I don't think I'll ever be able to find. Oh wait, no. Okay, they fixed it. Cool. Wait, no, this is my sandbox world. Duh. In expert, the only way you can find triggerfish, I'm pretty sure in expert mode, is right at the beginning when he gives you the charm. I don't think he's a gettable villager in expert mode unless things have changed. But I've done all the villager searching for the other villagers, never had him pop up again. And the problem is they added the codex after expert was created, so when I met triggerfish originally, was before the codex existed, hence not being able to unlock them. So there's certain things that are soft locked from being in a pre-existing world that I found.
Yeah, epic. I just checked. I have the exact same builds that are in the shop, and they even say Salty Seaport on them. Ha 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 ha. However, I don't have the prefab.
So you do have most of the parts? Interesting. Because, yeah, the prefab's not necessary if you... See, I guess that they need to make that more clear. Because now I'm confused. And I think if I'm getting backwards on this thought process, it has to be confusing for most consumers. So I need to make that more like... Be like this... You're paying for the schematics, not so much the build, but I don't know. Because then it's almost more just worth it to buy the decor pack for Captain's Battlements. Also remember, there's a whole set of decor that is Salty Seaport themed that you unlock from reading Klombo prop tomes. There's the rune tomes, but there is also, I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong, is between 18 and 20 that you have to collect and read. Because there is, I think, between 18 and 20 decor items in that category. You have to read the Klombo books to unlock them. But they're a whole subset of Salty Seaport decor that you have to unlock through gameplay. So I think a lot of people also don't realize that either. That I have them, but I haven't thought about it. It took me hours to collect all of them in my expert mode too, because you have to, after you collect all the chests on the floating islands that drop them, eventually you run out of chests to collect, unless they've changed it and put them in all the chests that are on the Lost Isles now. But at a certain point, I just had to go to feeding Mama Klombo and just farming Mama Klombo until she spit out prop tomes for me. It's really nothing. This is, I'm doing this to intentionally hit the build limit. There's a couple of players, including my moderator who's with us here today, guy from Neptune, who kind of discovered that the build limit's not unlimited, but it is broken up into, like, square grid chunks. And as long as you don't build more than 4,000 pieces on any square grid chunk, you will not surpass the limit, and you can keep building, essentially. So, or at least build more. If you count your pieces, you can build 4,000 pieces in this area, 4,000 pieces in the area next to it, making one giant village that's not hitting the build limit in any singular part. It's for science, and I'm actually almost done, so you only got to watch for, like, theoretically, unless I built right in the middle of two different blocks, I should be right about there. If my math is indeed mathing... This is 4,000 pieces that we're pretty close to setting. This is 3,980. 3,990. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Ah! Here we go. Okay, so that must be counting as one, and then there's probably a few random things that are around here that are counting. See that we got rid of, and we can build. It's probably counting like a jump pad or that thing. It's counting that. I bet that's it within. Right? That's got to be the thing, because that seems like 8 pieces or so. It seems like the math is mathing here. I'm glad this confirms we didn't build between 2 grid lines on accident, so that's good to know. Because then I would have had to build like 8,000 pieces to determine, really, if not build in a completely different spot. What are you building? A build limit presser. I don't know what else to call it. Oops. It must be the same color. There it is. Perfect. 4,000. $4,000 floor pieces. And we have successfully hit the build limit. So now, theoretically, I should just be able to find the limits of this current block by doing this. Yeah. Try to do so right here, no? Right there, and then can I build this way? And then assume it, yep, can't build that way, so let's still go. So yeah, can't, yep, we're still going. Yep. So then we want to go this way now with it. How much further can I go this? Okay, right here. Right there. Actually. See, I still can't build there. Yep, okay. So I shouldn't be able to build there. And then... Yep, that's like perfect. No, it just needs supporting. So that should be a corner, like right here. Like right there. All right, let's find a 1x1 piece. What even is a Lego 1x1 piece? I guess I should go to lights. It's probably the easiest one to find it. Wait, put it on that grid. We know, because I can... No, there's too many builds there. I just want to find the exact corner. Are your brain cells okay? Yes. Not a village build limit. Village build limits are different. So, like, this means nothing. See this yellow border? That means nothing for build limit. It has nothing to do with the build limit. So this, you'd think, oh, my build limit matters for that line. No, 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 no. The only thing that this line matters for is for this. Now also for chests. So let's say, and then also, you know how you have village rating that you have to get up? Well, the only way you can get village rating up is if you build something inside this border. If you build something outside of the border, it does not help the village rating, meaning you wouldn't be able to level up the village. However, once you're already once you get to level 10 on your village, you don't have to worry about your village rating anymore. You can literally, if you wanted to, on a level 10 village, you could delete everything in the village with the village post, and it would still remain a level 10 village, regardless of your village rating. So the border counts for village rating if you're trying to accrue it, right? Then the border also counts for villagers doing jobs. Let's say Jonesy's my villager. He's not right now. I guess I could technically make him the village. All right, no, he can't be added. Let's say he's my villager, right? He would be allowed to use this juicer because it's within the limits. If I put this juicer outside of the... I don't know why I'm doing this. If I put this juicer outside of the village limits, I can do it, but he would no longer be able to complete the food job anymore because he would technically not have access to the juicer anymore. So it counts towards village rating. It counts for whether villagers can work on a machine or not. So if you want the villager to be able to work on a specific machine, make sure that machine's within the limits. Then the last thing the village limits matter for now is the village chest system. So whether you are crafting and doing the crafting out of your chests, the chests will only count if they're inside of the village. Any chest inside the village limit will count. Animals, they will, I believe they just roam. Same with, oh yeah, animals, thank you. So if you build your barn here, barn must be in a village. So that's the other thing it matters for. You put a barn inside, then you can start adding animals. If you want to use it as a decoration, that's totally fine. Just know it won't be functional out here. So that's you build limit. You can build outside the line, inside the line. Doesn't matter. So the build limit complexity lines are completely separate and built into your map. So the high complexity limit, you'll see I'm actually hitting it here. It's like, I can't build anything else. Too many builds nearby, try somewhere else. But as you can see, I have defined where my square is. So it's not going to be perfect, but you can get it pretty darn close. So I cannot build here at all right now because I'm hitting the limit. However, over here I can, and over here I can. And this is the point right here. You can see this is the corner where I can't. So this must be, and again, huge shout out to Neptune and Moxie for figuring all this out, because now that we figured it out, it seems like so obvious, but at the same time, like, so this is the corner of one build complexity block. It is regardless of village post. The village post plays no role in this whole thing. These invisible lines that I've now made visible with floor pieces, these are invisible lines are the borders between one build complexity block to another build complexity block. Within this block, so if I go and complete this square, which I'm going to do, we are going to find out exactly how big the square is. And then it doesn't matter how dense it is, in this square, you will have 4,000 pieces you can place before you can hit build limit. But then if you go to the square next to it, you can build another 4,000 pieces. So as long as you plan and figure out where your borders are, what it allows you to do is build essentially a mega city or a mega village. Because as long as you're keeping track and figuring out where your borders are, as long as you're not going over you can go over and hit 4,000, but as long as your idea in one block is finished before 4,000 pieces is done, then you can just move to another block and continue the entire mega build as a whole, as long as you don't get too ballsy in one block and hit the limit and then have to redesign it so that way it's a little bit smaller. So that's kind of the advantage we're getting here. If you want a small corner, the smallest I found is palm pass roof piece. Go all the way to the bottom. This thing? But here, let's get the other definitive borders found. So I imagine with that one, it's not going to be that far. Yeah, it's like right here. Can't build there, can build there. Perfect. It's like impossible to get your camera to move while you're looking straight up like that. It's like roughly right there. This almost gives me a definitive corner because this spot right there is where I can't, and I can place, right? Oh, weird. See, then it goes out to like there. So that one I can place there. See, there's my definitive corner. So, like, it's weird that it lets me build there and there. But then, oh, no, it does let me build there. So there's essentially the corner. Like, that's the corner. Like, to a T right there, pretty much, right? I did that right, Neptune, you think? Oh, yeah, it looks like it lines up with where the walls are, too. I need better controls. I like can't go up and forward. It's weird. It's like throwing me off. Yeah, that looks right. And see, eventually, I think we could just do it by distance. Because if I figure out where the exact, because if that's the exact corner there, let's mark it. Right there, pretty much. Oh, it's going to be weird because it's not flat. It's because this is a longer line than this. So it's not going to be 100% accurate, right? Unless I mark roughly this. No, that's still, I would have to have the marker in line. Otherwise, the geometry is going to be off. I guess I'm not worried about it right now. Because if you and that would even be hard to like use it because you don't have a tape measure that it'd be hard because if you're going downhill, it's going to be a longer line or a shorter, depending on how you measure it. If that makes any sense to anybody. Interesting. It's not always like pixel perfect, I guess. It's like that one won't let me. Interesting. Maybe it's a little fuzzy, right? Yeah, that'd be my corner there. Corner there. They're not very big, but 4,000 pieces is a lot. So it's actually good that they're small. Oh, we gotta go over one here. Interesting. So I didn't delete anything there, did I? And see, none of this counts for complexity either. It's only POI, like actual build structures. No plants, no animals, no people. Oops. Here we go. I guess I can get a rough estimate, but yeah, there's our square. See, here's where, if you're doing this and testing it, if you accidentally originally build this structure right there, you would have to build 8,000 pieces to figure it out, which would make it even tougher. So you gotta, like, it's a gamble. If any of your build goes over the natural line, it's gonna essentially give you more limit, you know? Oh, destroy one block and find center? Why do I need to find the center? Cross the plane? Okay, destroy one block and see if you can cross the plane. Do you mean like build another one? Oh, it's because this came back. I think. Wait for it to all the way go away. I could have built something in, I guess. I'm guessing some of these are too close, or I built like inside of it, I guess. Now the question is, can you connect them between the limits and build a mega build 8,000? Well, I mean, technically you could do like 16,000, because you could, if you found the corner and you did 4,000 in this, 4,000 in that, 4,000 there, 4,000 there, you get 16. Here, let's get rid of like this one until it lets me build again. I'm guessing some of those pieces I built as the border are counting right now. It's like the only thing I can think of. Oh yeah, I'll check the meters corner to corner real quick. I think this is the flattest one I'm going to find. Hold on. I didn't leave my dog. No. Dogs are barking at something. Let me go see. There's a random stray cat walking the wall in my backyard, and Bones and Winnie were going nuts. I didn't even see it. They were barking out the back window, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, do you guys need to just go out? I'm like, they've never been that crazy to just go outside. So I opened the door, and they immediately bolt out there towards the back wall. And I look up, I'm like, oh, there's a cat walking across the cement wall that between all the houses in my neighborhood. And they were ready to pounce, man. Bones and his 3 legs were ready to get him. Okay. Sorry, I got mega distracted there. 40 meters. And these are pretty, this is like even on the, so that's pretty accurate too. I'm not too high, not too low, because you see the higher you go, wait, does it? Yeah, it would, I guess it only changes like 1 meter per 10 meters up or something like that. But that would make like a 1 meter difference from here to that corner if I were to measure from that corner to here. I guess it still is 40. I assumed the slope would increase the length even more than that. But yeah, 40 meters by 40 meters seems to be pretty darn solid considering that's the distance on these ones. And these are pretty much perfectly level with each other. So yeah, 40 by 40. Yeah, 40 meters. So how many square meters is that? And it's just 40 by 40, right? That's 1,600 square meters, right? Because they don't have to be perfect either, because that's the thing. Just cut yourself off at like 39.50. You know what I mean? Whenever you're building. So that way you've got a little bit of cushion when you're making the transition from one block to another, right? Like that would be probably the best way to plan that out. So now that we have that figured out, really, you could like eyeball it for the most part. 40 meters going in each direction. That's not going to have too much margin for error. It would only have a huge margin for error if you ended up going like 5, 6, 10, like, more than several amount of blocks wide is when the meters would be probably like eventually be off by a couple of meters for your grid. So truly, that's the only one of those we need. Because I know now that those ones can go that way. So like that one can go there, and this one can go there. So that's my perfect line, because it can't go there. So we only need one candle to mark the corner. I'm gonna fix the jump attack and how inconsistent it is. Like how right there, like it's just, it's very dependent on where you're aiming. You'd think it would be from the point of where you're hitting, and it would like cause like an irradiated like effect. But it all depends on the piece you hit and what's connected to it, I think, and that's how it's like programmed to smash stuff. See, this one we got just right. This one's weird, though. Some of the limits are, like, different. Or no, so I just had it wrong. So, like, that's the actual corner, then. Right? Oh, it's just supporting piece. Okay. Because then, yeah, okay, we got that one right now. Pinpoint it down to the space. What's up, Reaper? How are those not broken? Oh, I forgot now I need to put those pieces back real quick. Because some of those pieces were clearly in both zones at once or something. Because now I should be maxed here. Or close to it. Oh, no, there's those two pieces up top I forgot about. See, now we should be maxed. Yep, perfect. Okay. Now, see, these ones technically aren't counting. So... Can't go there. Can go there. So that, yep, that's the perfect one. Okay, so we got every corner figured out to the molecule. It's hard to see. You know what I can do is put a little, like, actual post behind it so we can see it a little better. All right, we got our corners. Now we should still be at build limit, right? Yep. Okay, so now we should be able to delete one piece, which should allow us to build one more piece. Not too many now again? Which one's counting? It's weird. It's like counting some. Oh, maybe the campfire's back? No. I guess maybe two pieces. Oops. How many pieces are counting? I guess let's try 4. That'd be my guess. Because the candles are maybe counting. There we go. There's 5 pieces. It's counting towards this build now that wasn't counting a second ago. No, the trees shouldn't be it. That's pretty. I think that's been confirmed at this point. So now I can add one back. See, now it lets me add all of these ones back. Interesting. So like I have to take off a couple. Oh, there we go. Now it's maxed out again. So there's 4. So that makes sense. I guess it's barely counting those as in. Like they're outside, but they're in. So okay, it does let me put this piece. How would I figure out where the center is, and why would I even need to figure out the center? Well, I don't think... Like, if you had... Did we already test this? Neptune? Can you connect them? Let's say we had 3,900 pieces here and 3,900 pieces here. If we bridge them together, does it hit complexity? Yeah, the vertical chunk. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So it'd be hard to tell where you are vertically. Like, technically, the vertical chunk probably starts at, like, sea level, to be honest, and the grass is much higher than sea level. So we're probably, like, if it's 40 meters, distance between this and sea level is probably about 20 meters. So we're probably like halfway through the first chunk. What was the question? If I were, so like, let's say this is like 3,900 pieces, and then I had another one that was 3,900, and I bridge them together. Does that end up triggering limit, or do they have to be separate structures, or can they be connected? And it just depends. So like, because right now I can't add any, or I can add stuff. But I guess technically to test that, I would just have to build out. Because now we should be outside the limit. And now this, if they were combining, I shouldn't be able to do this. So yeah, you can have them connected. I wasn't sure if that would like break and like almost combine the complexities. Like if it was a 4,000 piece structure limit as well as a 4,000 piece block limit. If those were true at the same time. Because now this one structure clearly has more than 4,000 parts. But a portion of those 4,000 parts that are connected are outside of the block. Right? My line of thinking is correct there. I'm sure, like I said, Neptune's figured it all out, but I need to almost run the ropes myself so I can understand it the way my brain needs to understand it. And then I can successfully re-explain it. So they don't have to be connected, but if you want, that's what I want. Because, like, there's some builds where I definitely want them to be, like, one thing to the next to the next. But obviously that would make it a lot less hassle-free if you didn't connect them anyway, but that's good to know. So you really don't need to know where the middle is. The only thing from here is you would just have to measure 40 meters perfectly south from here in a straight line. Which would be tough to stay, like, on the same exact line unless, I don't know, can I just do it by running? Is that... Can I stay in a straight enough line? Like I said, it's going to be... But, like, technically, like that, and it's hard to line up exactly. But 40 meters, that should essentially, if I'm looking straight north, we're looking right at it. That should be our other line. So I guess it's all just trial and error. So now that I've got this under my belt, I think it's just one of those things where I need to go over to expert mode and just start trying it, right? Oh, you're right, Neptune, 1 meter. I noticed that, like, there's a lot of, like, that's 7 meters away. Here's there's 6. So here's the beginning of 7. That's the end of 7. So, like, it doesn't change. There's a lot of wiggle room between here and here. I see what you're saying. Oh, I see. So you would just going 4,064. Oh, I forgot about those ones. They're so small and light. Location. Okay, I see. So from here, we would want to go...
Now let's finish the Loin Knight's castle. Definitely would have been the new best if it was finished correctly.
Is the first coordinate longitude right? Up and down? That should be right. So if I'm at 194, 500, I need to be at... Oh, man, that's so exact. So you have to do some math, huh? But again, at the end of the day, you almost don't need to care about where the end of that one is. Or do you, because like you really just need to know which way to build out roughly. Because I don't know if making it exact is necessary. Because the only reason you need it exact is if you planned on doing another chunk beyond the 2x2 grid, and you wanted to add like a 5th block on top of your 4th. That's when it would really come down to really needing to know so you can plan it out. But otherwise, I feel like just having a rough estimate should be more than plenty to like get you going, right? Because like as long as you have 4, like you have 1 exact block and then you have 3 other rough blocks, I feel like it wouldn't like hinder you that badly, right? Oh, second is when it sounds okay. Because I want to make my museum base in one build, and this will definitely be the way to do it. Because I guess I should go over to that world too. Let's take a quick, because there's another few things I wanted to do as well. I need to do math on how many weapons I've already made and how many more there are. And then I can plan the breakup of how many weapons go in each section. So that's what the only kind of planning I'll really need to do, I think. Main survival. Look at that. On the day of our game's release. It's my 12/7/23 world. Oh, yeah, if you're making content on it, yeah, you want to be exact. Or if you're explaining it for the video sake. That makes a lot of sense. Determining vertical height is going to be rough. I guess I would just have to float up. Thanks for all the help, by the way, Neptune. Oh, man, it's been a while. Oh, God. I never did try to upgrade this at all, but it still works. My TIE fighter. Where am I? I need to take this back over there. There was a reason it was here. It's very slow. It's the world's slowest TIE fighter for sure. I did not realize this was what I was doing the last time I logged into this world. That's wild. Oh yeah, this is where I was testing the build. I was testing some other builds, which I think I can do better with this with the angled techniques. I originally wanted to make a tie interceptor, but I was having trouble with some of the angles. There it is. Before we head out, I figured I'd show you guys the space. Now this is a regular survival world that I really don't play on anymore, so I just put on flying mode so I can show stuff off easier. But all this was built under normal survival parameters, I guess you could call it. All right, let's go to Lion Knights. I mean, I guess technically I've always been onto something. I always told people build spread out. I was wrong about it being dense. I mean, it still has to do with some density to an extent, density per 40 by 40 meters. But I've always remember like that's why my best advice was like spread out your builds. The more spread out they are, the more you can build. And that's why I clearly was able to build what I did on like my farm village. I just built in probably modestly in probably 8 different zones. You know what I mean? Like if I were to go back and figure out where all those lines were, it would my whole farm is probably broken up into like more than 4 grid squares, that's for sure. Like look at this. I mean, the base over here, I mean, that's probably like over 100 meters from one end of the village to the other, so it's probably spanning multiple. Technically, that's why some people's Titanics and stuff probably were able to work. Is because they're so long that they were able to go from one build to another, but then if they put too much detail into it after that, that's when they would hit build limit because they would hit 4,000 on one of the grids. So it kind of like explains a lot of what we've seen that is possible and then stuff that it doesn't seem to be working. Because this village doesn't make sense to me. This village, I feel like I shouldn't be at 4,000 in any chunk. Unless I built in like the perfect chunk. I just can't imagine I used 4,000 pieces to build this part of the castle. Right? One thing I should do is go break these POI. I've got a bridge and this dock that I need to get rid of. That's probably not helping my situation here. Dun 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 dun. Been a while. Still one of my favorites, dude. I love that area over there. The house, the little town area. Chef's kiss. Mwah. But yeah, too many builds. So I mean, because here's the thing. You think, oh, all that's screwing you over, Nate. No, no, no. Object in the way. Let's see. I can build here. The line is somewhere about there. You can see I can build here. So all of this is a separate grid from everything to my right. So I guess if that's this line, then really we just need to go 40 meters this way, right? And that theoretically would be where our other line would be, right? Is like right about here. So I can't build there. So I guess I did, because I can build there. can build here, but then there's... So between there and there... And then... See, I can build that, so that's that. And then you think 40... So, do you really think I did 4,000 in here? It's got to be because of this. No, because that's probably outside, because that's what the other thing we were going to check. Hello? Am I lagging? Won't even let me build there. Oh, this must be a vertical block thing. This must be it's probably a transition from vertical blocks here or something. Right? That's what's happening? Because these aren't taller than 40 meters, are they? No, they're only about 20 from here. I definitely need to destroy these. These wood pieces are breakable with a blaster, right? I don't have to decouple them or anything. I should just be able to break them with the... I think. I just can't imagine... Where can I build going this way? Can I even... So those aren't those are in a separate block altogether. Cause like roughly, if we look at all these markers, one corner would be roughly like right there, right? Based on those two. Another corner would be like roughly right around the dock and where that meets. And then the other corner is like where that and this meets, which is like right about there. Which would bring that corner out to like, what, like there? Yeah, maybe I am. Do you think I'm at 4,000? I think I might actually be. That it just doesn't seem like, no, there's no way, right? 4,000's a lot. I know I use a lot of pieces.
I've come for your pickle.
Oh! Can I build on top of this too? Because that would also determine if this is split.
So we figured out that large pieces outside of one chunk affects the complexity in another chunk. You broke the dock, so you will be able to place pieces now in the complex area.
Oh, large. So large pieces have a role, but on, like in a weird way on the outside. And also I've clearly... Because like this is... No, that's like outside of the limit. Like just barely. It's like if I wanted to test this, if I'm in the same chunk right now. Yeah, see, I can't go there. Too many builds. So, like, that's where the line is, and that kind of matches up where it does down there. But I was seeing if maybe if I built a little bit higher, I could break out of this chunk. You know what I mean? And see if I see now I'm still not over it. But you'd think eventually, especially since it's got to be, like, down here. You know what I mean? Because, like, right now that's 20 meters. But what's, like... this height, because I imagine the block would start somewhere like down there, you know what I mean? like right below you, which is about 40 meters there. Because I imagine sea level has to be like baseline for the chunks, but maybe not, or for the vertical chunks. Because this is a good place to test out stuff too, since I already have it built and it's a problem. So like, let's see if I go like another couple of spaces up, if I can go over it. Nope, still not. So this is testing the vertical part of the tech/theory. So yeah, now we're over it. We're well back in. So where's the line exactly? Actually, let's figure that out. Oh, it's right there, literally. I can't build below, but I can build above it. So that... So we only got a couple meters down, and we're on a new block going downward. Oh, they're not the same? Okay. Are they shorter or longer than they are wide? Yep, yeah, it should be a visual thing, absolutely. It should be like purple or something that it's very easy to see like that. Dang, if I just built the towers, you know, skyscraper size, you're good. So you can build skyscrapers, no problem, really. Once you figure out, because like you could basically build buildings twice as high as you normally would for extra effect if you wanted to. It's just like, obviously it's impossible to go back and count, but it's clearly in the thousands. There's no, and here's the other thing is here, like I've got some chests and stuff. So here, let's actually go and test out more of what Neptune said. And he said, let's destroy more of these because these are large builds that are apparently able to affect the other grid just because of their size. And then I also, is that bridge, you think, close enough to maybe help? Because this is in the next block for sure. Because if this is our border there, this, nope, that's outside. So 40 meters. That's definitely in the next block, but that's not. That's in the next block. And then, did I leave any POIs is the question, too. Is there any random POIs that are down here, over there, around there, maybe? Yeah, I don't think, because it's like a block. That's got to be like 2 blocks away. Don't I have spawn stuff on? Yes, I do. Doesn't this work better? No. Not really. Where did it? Kind of. Does it go under? No. Just the blaster. I can't remember. No, switch. Oops. Can't see. Oh, it's probably because I'm hitting like 2 pieces at a time, huh? Just like stupid. I gotta pull my mouse down consistently. Also makes a splash. I can't even see. Well, that's annoying. Let's just get the rest of what I can. Can't I dynamite it too? Or does it float now? Also, free, not connected pieces. So, like, floating, I guess, like, I should call them vehicles. Anything not grounded or dynamic doesn't count towards a build limit, right? Because obviously, well, I guess that could be tested. I could have gone back to my other one and If that's something you haven't tested yet, if you like drive a huge ship into it, are you able to still build or no? Can I hit those? No, won't let me. I swear dynamite works fairly well, but maybe they've changed the physics over time. I haven't had to try to do this in a minute. And don't you have to like cook them so they actually explode where you want them to?
Just use the new blasters.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. Do some decent damage. I totally forgot that those do the same thing the blasters do. I'm not even thinking. Where are they? Forgot they do way better. Yeah, thank you. I don't know why I didn't think of that. They are also... The original way I learned to do it is obviously with the Star Wars blasters. That's my first thought. Good call. They do more damage, too. Let's do a second pair so I can swap. I wonder if I could cut down on this village too in general. But this is a lot of pieces. I'm trying to remember what I was working on when I ended up... I think I wanted to do interior here, but I just couldn't cut it. That's about as much as I can get. You know what I can probably do as well is go a little less. I went a little hard on the banners. I probably don't need as many banners as I did when I was pretty experienced when I built this, but earlier in my experience in this game, there's times where I went a little overboard on things like that, where I think I don't need nearly as much of that outer deco. Like here is fairly tasteful. Even that is almost way too many banners that I put here. I think I overdid it, and that's part of what it is. But also, look at how many pieces I used just for these sidewalks so I could make them look like they do. Because over here, I imagine I'm actually pretty good on build limit. Like, I know there's a lot going on here, but I don't think I'm nearly as close to as that build. That has so much sidewalk and so much castle going on. The other thing, too, is now that I understand it better, I suppose this is where I could, like, make some edits pretty easily, too. Like, right here wouldn't be a bad idea if I deleted that pathway to make more grass area right here. That saves me a lot of pieces. And then, as much as I like this tower, I think I could do a better job on it now, potentially. I don't know. Is this one even worth editing or trying to do, or would it be more worth just building a brand new village with complexity chunks in mind instead of trying to go back and do this one? As much as I love this one, it's about as finished, but yeah, okay, yeah. If Zep says it, it has to be so. No. But I could easily make edits to this, because this, dude, if I took this whole castle, this whole tower, and moved it, what? If this, God, I wish I could select and edit. If this whole tower had just been, if I had just made a longer pathway going to this tower, and this tower had started like right here, it would be in the other chunk, and that would have saved me probably hundreds of pieces in this chunk where this big build is. But I want it to be full. But this is why, and now it's even more important, it's been a rule I've followed, always use less bigger pieces than more smaller pieces. Because now we know that really one piece is one piece, especially if it's only the difference between like an 8x and a 6x. Use as many of the 8x's as you can until you run out of room and got to fill space. Because otherwise you're just wasting. And then, let me see. I don't think I wait. Yeah, I made these pretty efficiently. It's like one part for the arches. It's just a lot of parts going down into the ground that's taking it up too. But mostly it's like I went with too much like this kind of decor, you know? Let's see if I can even build. Oh yeah, look at that. Actually got room here right now. Don't do it. It's elephant history. Yeah, I'll leave it. I'll leave it. I'll just get rid of the scaffoldings here. It does. I like having it as is too, because it like shows my progression as a builder in the game for sure. While we're here, I could go take you to one of the earliest landmark builds that's still not destroyed. Because technically I didn't keep my original OG village just because it was like all prefabs, and that was just a move I made a long time ago. But and then I guess I blew up my my beach house that I ended up building. Where is it? That should be here. But I can take you to some of my earliest builds. I haven't even done Flambeau Lost Isles content in this world. I basically stopped playing this world as soon as expert mode came out. Bricky, what it do? I'm good. How you doing, man? Welcome back, Donnie. Who's that? Did I build a tutorial over here or something? I don't remember what this is. Must be tutorial. I used it as an example or something. But here, this is this bridge over here. There's one of my early, probably like my first fancy build. Like really thin, something I put like a bunch of effort into. It's really repetitive and it uses all free parts that we had back in the day. Oh, there's some of the builds left. I didn't blow up everything. History.
Which
This
was
is
the
history.
first ever village?
Technically, it was a village that, you know, my Pleasant Park, Greasy Grove village or whatever. Technically, my OG Grasslands village would have been... Hold on. It would have been like right here is where I made like my original Grasslands village. It had like all the log cabin prefabs, all the Pleasant Park prefabs. It was pretty much just me building the prefabs. I didn't build anything custom in that first base because I was obviously still just like learning the ropes of the game. And then at one point I just deleted all that to conserve materials, and I moved that, basically rebuilt the entire base. So my first ever village is just a prefab village, like probably most people's are. But this is the first ever thing I built, and it uses like basically all shack parts. Look at me using fancy hand railing techniques and roof techniques for ramps back then. Look at me. It was a pretty basic build, but this was the gist. And then there used to be a whole resort here, but I ended up hating the way it looked. It was just a bunch of buildings that looked like this. Nothing too crazy, but I ended up not fleshing it all out. And there used to be a big ass build right here. And if you go back on my TikTok page or my YouTube shorts, I probably even have it posted. There's a video of me loading it with TNT and exploding it. And it was probably about 10.5 minutes worth of just me lagging. I mean, the TikTok video speeds it up. But when I did it, it lagged for like 10 minutes until it settled down, and then all the pieces like rendered. It was bad. But this was long before any build kits or Lego passes were available. So this is like Pleasant Park builds, Castle builds, and Shogun builds, and that's it. And the cabin, Pleasant Park, Majestic Manor, and Shogun Palace is the only parts available at this time. Let's go to another. You want to see another village that's built with all 100% free parts? No battle pass, no item shop. And, mind you, this was before they had, like, super reliable flying machines, right? We still didn't have, I think this was before... Guys, this was before the invention of the steering wheel, correct? That I built this village? I had to swim here. Luckily, I think the swimming charms were out, so I was able to use those. But I don't remember being able to fly stuff over here. I'll take you to the farm village. But this village, I built in the middle of the ocean. Dead set. Like, I mean, you can tell. It's like as far in the middle of the water as you can be. Unless you're like on the outskirts, obviously. But this uses pretty much all shack parts. With some Shogun. It uses Shogun pieces here and there, like the lights and the stairs. But this is mostly using shack pieces from the original parts you unlock in the game. This was well before they released any battle passes or any build kits. Oh yeah, the hidden room. Look, so down here, there's like a bait shop up here, and I could probably, there's so many more, like, so many better, like, look at all my decor in here. Look at, there's like so much better stuff I could put in here now. But again, I'm not going to change it. I always thought maybe I'd come and update these one day. But like, no, they're like pieces of history. I like showing people like, oh yeah, it doesn't have any updated, no updated decor, no updated anything. This is like bare bones.
I also copied this one a long time ago.
Oh yeah, it's the floppers we had to catch for it. Oh, so check it out. There's this house right here, but look, there's no way to get in there. I don't know why those are there, but there's no way to get in there, right? Or is there? Secret tunnel to my secret house. This is my favorite part. I also copied this one. I love it. Yeah, this one. My unfinished helipad. When they did finally add flying stuff, I was like, it was really hard to operate stuff back then, because I think that was also before balloons or activated balloons or even a thing, so it was like really hard to land stuff where you wanted it. But yeah, 100% free parts, beside the helipad. But all free parts for this. Oh yeah, I can kind of, let me show you the rest of it. There's like, obviously the docks at the bottom. Down here, I didn't get to make it exactly how I wanted. I wanted it to be like an international market, so I built like a little castle shop, which didn't really end up getting too much detail. And then I built like a Shogun shop. And it was kind of meant to be like all the kingdoms like were represented at the dock. I don't know. It was like, and then here's the original storage. Like, so like there's probably no items in here. But as I was building this village, this is where I would keep all of the extra stuff as I was building it, because this village isn't for anything functional. It was all just for fun. But this storage room was functional at one point while I was constructing this bad boy. So yeah, all of this kind of, I had random stuff in it for building. And then we can go around to the other side right here. And there's actually a restaurant. Oh, praise be the level 3 crafting bench. Oh, yeah. That's OG. For those that don't know, the crafting benches used to be upgradable. And they technically, this doesn't get me anything, but this is what some of the crafting benches used to be able to look like when you upgraded them. It's so pretty, but it looks like a stove, so I put it into a kitchen setting. So this is like a little seaside restaurant. I know. They lied to us. They still haven't returned. They promised. They said in text, in writing, that they would come back. I mean, eventually does mean eventually, but when does eventually become never? Yeah. I feel like that was the easiest thing to, like, get back in there. That's, at the very least, that's the bone they could have thrown us in the last 9 months. And before the spires. Me and Brave and Kaz, we, not to say like, bad, but we gave like the best of our ideas while we were in Denmark to the people we could. So hopefully they, because like one of the things I suggested was every build kit should come with 2 guaranteed things. Like let's say you buy Salty Seaport or Lockie's Lighthouse, right? You get the prefab, you get the decor, right? That's what you get for what you're buying, right? What you should also get, 2 things with every single item shop decor pack, or even battle pass one, there needs to be a specialized crafting bench and a specialized map marker. It just looks different. So when you buy Anarchy Acres, right? Let's say you buy Anarchy Acres out of the shop. It comes with you could put down a crafting bench, and then with your crafting bench, you'd be able to click up here and do a drop down. So it wouldn't give you an advantage. It's not a better crafting bench, but you could have skins for your crafting bench, where this is the default skin for the crafting bench. But then when you buy Anarchy Acres, you get the Anarchy Acres crafting bench skin. And then on top of that, you would get the Anarchy Acres themed map marker, which could be like one of these things or anything. Make it a different skin of this item that we could reuse. So when we, I think that would be amazing. It's like having a back bling and a pickaxe to your skin. You get a crafting bench skin and you get a map marker skin for every. So there would be like a one for Lion Knights, one for Durburger. How cool would it be to have a Durburger map marker and a Durburger crafting bench? Maybe the Durburger crafting bench is a blacktop stove or whatever, a blacktop grill or whatever you call them. Just make it fun. Make it fun. It still does the same exact thing all the other crafting benches do, but it gives us a little more value. And when we're buying these things, to have a little more fun with the customization of such a one-dimensional item now. And then there's probably, they could even do that with maybe Anarchy Acres doesn't get a crafting bench. Maybe it gets a special compost bin. Or maybe it gets a special barn skin. You know, the barn kind of already rematches. They kind of made it to go into Anarchy Acres, not going to lie. But they could make like a castle barn that's maybe a different color or something like that. All these items, I think, are prone to having skins. And they could be included in passes and or item shop kits. I think that would be the easiest way, so with minimal effort, to add value to the kits. Not that they're unvaluable. Like I see a lot of value in the item kits already, but I think if we're looking to sway people over even more in the community, that'd be an easy way to do it. So as you can see, this probably, dude, how many chunks do you think I've built on? Thing is, I'm not building super heavy. That's at most maybe 1,000 pieces. You know what I mean? For that build, probably less, probably just several hundred for that one build, several hundred for that. several hundred for that. So like that's how you build. If you want to build really big, it's just you can't build super huge mega structures in any one spot. That's probably my densest area right there. And it could even be on a border. You never know. There could be a slice going right through there, and half of this is on that complexity and half is on the other. But this is, without even trying, I built all over the grids. Been a while since you posted a cool new village build. How am I supposed to steal ideas from you? I know. I gotta post some stuff that I haven't even gotten around to posting too. Oh, this build looks way better at the daytime. Let me show you that. But I don't think I actually, other than my Lion Knight's castle, I don't think I have a single build that is hit complexity. That's a loading screen material, right? I mean, while we're here, what else could I go check out? I guess we can go check out Pleasant and kind of the whole shebang here. Because we saw, I guess we can go to Mos Eisley. Plenty of people probably haven't seen my Mos Eisley build. Yo, let's do Mos Eisley first. So I'm probably just going to tour for a few more minutes and then call it an evening. And then tomorrow, when we start the stream, I will get right into pretty much determining my grid on my expert world. And then my next build project will likely be, since I'm going to need to do some math with how many items I need to store. But with this all in mind, I should be able to make my museum storage base as I better envisioned it than it currently is. Because I'd like to make it indoor with roofs and, you know, have like that kind of thing. I want it to be big and open, but my worry was that I was going to hit complexity just by building the stencil for it too big. Now this one, I must have accidentally, this must be, because this is the same for everybody on everybody. Well, actually, I guess your Star Wars Island is the same, but not everybody's Star Wars Island is in the same spot coordinates-wise. So I guess it would vary. I must have got lucky. I must be sitting right on a corner. Am I wrong, chat? Like, this, like, the corner, this must be, that's block, 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 block. There's no way I didn't accidentally. Like, how did I build this much, chat? There's no way I didn't build accidentally on a 4 corner already with this build. I just don't, like, there's no way that's under 4K for the whole thing. Like, how big is it? Because it's like from here to the other end. It's almost 2 blocks wide. I probably have my basic compass somewhere. I just don't have it in the expert. I have the advanced compass in my expert, but not the basic. But yeah, this must be built right on a 4-corner crossroad. Or at least a split, because I just can't imagine. Like, it still lets me build, too. Like, everywhere. I don't think there's anywhere where I actually hit physically. I guess the test would be to, like, build a stack of bricks here, hit the limit, and then see if I can go to that corner and build a stack of bricks. Because this, there's just no way. Because, like, you compare this to Lion Knights. This is so many more pieces than Lion Knights, dude. I know there's a lot of empty stuff here, but Lion Knights isn't even decorated yet. That base isn't even decorated. This has full decoration in, like, 6 or 7 buildings. plus full exterior decoration. I must have hit the jackpot with this coordinates here. This is by far probably my densest, biggest build. Let's go to the dir. Oh, I guess I forgot. I have another base that I can show you that is with 100% free parts, no battle pass, no item shop for some inspiration. If you guys haven't, this was actually, I think I did this build on, this was like my first major build I did on stream, I think. Because my Shogun, I think I had most of that built off stream when I was first getting into the game and starting to stream it. And then I built like my Shogun cave later on stream. But I think this Majestic Manor's castle is like the first mega build I ever did on stream. Other than like the cabin base, I think this is like the first one I ever actually completed. And originally it did hit build complexity, but not anymore. And it's probably, I wonder if they changed, I wonder if the vertical grid became a thing, because that's also what would have saved this base. This base here is very, very tall, so I imagine it goes through at least one vertical block too. I totally forgot about this village. I haven't thought about this village in a minute. This is probably where I'll end the tour, and I'll call it till tomorrow. We gotta go pick up Heather from work here fairly shortly. She's got an early night. Go! I'm trying to show my stuff off. Free! I almost want to do a V2 of this village, too. Yeah, we'll do Greasy Grasslands before I log off, too, if you want, real quick. But this is 100% free parts. Pretty much 90% Majestic Manor. Sometimes I think I used a little bit of Shogun Palace here, but either way, those are all free parts. Yeah, this is like first mega structure I probably did. Doesn't have interior decorations, but it has like walkable interiors in general. Like you can get from every. And actually, you know what's funny is these. Yep, look at that. To this day, they're still bugged. A year and 6 months later, they're still misaligned. That's so wild, dude. Remember when that used to happen a lot more often? I think that glitch is like fixed, but like you can't make it happen anymore. But dude, what the heck was happening back then? I couldn't even place that feast there because like these ones were all weird. Usually this kind of stuff will reset after a login. It's been hundreds of logins now. All right, where is the... There it is. Oh, people want to see the integral load-bearing support beam? Yes, 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 yes. And it's still decorated from last Halloween. Oh. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. So this was a functional village at one point. Like, I was like living out of here, so there actually is like stuff here. What are those? How do I have gold in there? Oh, I think I did need to farm some stuff. I remember when I did this, I think I needed some gold for the Lost Isle stuff when I actually came back here. But this is my greasy grasslands. What the heck? That's so weird. Oh, yeah. This house is the party house, but sometimes they party too hard. And one time there was a party and the roof started to dip, so we had to install this integral load-bearing support beam into the middle of the room. If this wasn't here, it would be very unsafe and the roof would collapse. What else happens with it is not my business at all. Okay? It's not my business at all. And here's a Durburger. This is where I burn the burgers. If I can find the emote, which I never will. The emote list is too long. It's somewhere in here. Aha! I be cooking. Well done. You got it. Oh, boy! Back up. Oh, my God! And then the store. See, this is like the dine-in store. It's really nice. You can like come inside, eat, sit down. But next door, they got so busy at this store that they had to open literally another store next door for like DoorDash and delivery and takeout. And there's a little small dining room, but this one's focused for takeout and DoorDashes and stuff. Whereas, like, if you're like trying to sit down,
did I ever
you just go to
mention
this
the
one.
restaurant village I made in the desert? I call it Smashburger Flats.
Smashburger Flats. But this one has the drive-thru. Which I used extra art pieces as the menu. Smashburger Flats. I love Smash. Oh, here's my haunted house at night, too. I intentionally made it, like, tri-color. I wanted it to be, like, orange, purple, green from left to right. So I lit it very particularly. Oh, I need, like, a spooky traversal emote to go through here. Like... Oh no! The trick-or-treaters. Got some candy for the trick-or-treaters. Over here, this is the Weapon X themed room. Over here is the Dr. Doom themed room. You know, you gotta have an area for kids. It's Halloween. Gotta have a superhero area. Here is a funeral service, because it's spooky. Oh, Heather's ready. Look at that. Time to go. Told ya. The library. Spoopy. Then this was like the Countess, whatever the... I just made this whole room themed for like the Shadowed Countess, I think it was called. And then this one over here was Frankie's themes. This one's like Frankenstein, like a room. It's more of like a haunted hotel than a haunted house. And then out here, got some more stuff. Out here, there's another door out here to the balcony. Boom. But that also goes into the rooms. All connects. Ta-da! This is the prefab, though. I didn't build that custom or anything. This is the prefab I just decorated custom-wise. But that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to pick up my lady and have some dinner. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for hanging out. Hopefully, for those new to the whole build complexity thing, hopefully you learned a little bit. I definitely learned a lot. And going forward, I'll be able to, hopefully, educate everybody else. So everybody else can build magnificent, gigantic bases. Hey, Zap, thank you so much. Neptune, thank you so much for the support. Everybody else, I can't, if I could start naming names, I'll have to go down the whole list. So thank you so much, everybody. Especially my mods. Have a great night. I will likely see you guys tomorrow. I know I was absent the last another week and a half or so, roughly. Been going through it. Life stuff. Don't worry. I'm fine. Just sometimes I can't be as consistent as I'd like to be. But moving forward, I'll see you more. We'll see ya. I'm out of here, guys. Oh, wait. Who are we raiding over to? I almost forgot. We need a raid target. Who's the raid? Opie, perfect. My boy, me boy. Over to Opie Openstein. Snooze the ad too. Sorry. Boom, click it, click it, click it. Go say hi to Opie. Hey, thank you, Neptune. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the help. I'm out of here, guys. Have a great night. See ya.